rewarded to incentivize TAN tokens. And then we could kind of make a fun graphics and who's the leader and etc. And I think the key is that we all do it together as a community. We do it openly and transparently, of course. And the idea is to get to as much fairness as possible. Now, it's never ever going to be perfect, but if we're all working together, when it seems unfair, someone's clearly going to say that. We had a lot of decent activity here, and that's another thing, is you want to create something that offers, someone who doesn't have a lot of time to get active to get something in reward. Someone that has excessive time is just doing 60 hours a week there, that they don't necessarily gobble up all the rewards. We want, as much participation as possible. But I think something like that can easily be done for the kind of reputation score aspect. And then we could do badges, NFTs, etc. So yeah. So yeah, I think really the next step is, I think getting this project lead that has a technical background that can really break down what are the steps needed to make the network go live. Okay, let me take the comments here. Sorry, everyone, my connection's been occurring. It's brutal. I'll have to record and the only catch on that. Okay. This seems similar to the Zealy campaign. It is similar to the Zealy campaign, but it's the Zealy campaign. One, it's open to everyone, so you get the hunters. In ours, when we did this, we made it a prerequisite that you had to have been in the ecosystem for like a month. Didn't mean that, no one could come in new. They can start getting involved, but they had to spend a little time getting involved. So again, the way that we did it was, yes, similar to a Zealy campaign, but we're able to tweak the algorithm, I don't want to say a barrier of entry, but just make sure that it's not just token hunters that are coming in, doing their work and getting out. We wanted people that were really within the community to get supported first, but also allowed for open access for new people that came into the community. And the Zealy campaign, I don't know, can you do GitHub comments and stuff like that? I don't think so, but really we just get to really tweak it and cater it to our own. Involve manual review of all FP reward. Yeah. 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 I mean, we can look at it, certainly look at it. I just guess I'm not sure. I think you can only give certain badges to people in the Zealy campaign. So it's not just open to everyone. Type. Yeah. No, absolutely. And the other one, let's see, there was another good one that was really good. Some of the old here. And that should be, I should just go to, let's see. Just trying to find the one. I don't see it somewhere. Keep going. What's that? Yeah, that's which one that's that? Okay, so it looks like they sold to Absent. It's interesting for them. So Tide, which I don't know what absinthe is, but it was basically like really with a little bit on steroids. Let's see what their price it is. Oh wow, not more than it was. Um, Maybe that's a big one, like track and reward U.S. liquidity and P5. So again, if you want you want people to actually come in and be taking part in the ecosystem rather than just doing some tweets or whatever. So Tide, which sounds like it's now absent, was just really much more developer focused, and really granulate down. And then you got a lot of the data as well. Can do calculations with smart contracts, um, and then aggregate the statistics. So yeah, you should check that out. Edward, if you're looking for something a little bit more beefier than I noticed from that proposal page that the amount requested is in dollars, not tokens. How does that work if the tokens are moving in price? They're money to make money sometimes. Two-bill poster. Yeah, it was not easy. Probably one of the most difficult things I've ever done is managing a treasury with price fluctuation, such as a crypto token, and one like Shimmer that's much more volatile. The way I did it was literally week to week. I came up with some different methods that basically was always slowly selling, but not to affect market price. And you could say, well, how is it? How do you do that? Well, for Shimmer, it was very easily to see basically what the average overall daily volume was. And we basically had guidelines set in place that no trade could be more than 1 or 2% of daily volume. So there's no doubt that, let's just say daily volume is $100,000. And if you sell $1,000, you're really not going to affect the daily volume. If it's $10,000, you'd be selling, what is that, $100. So, you can put guidelines on that to liquidate and get USD capital. And the reason that we had USD for these grants is because that those companies or those teams, I mean, they are going to have to pay. So they're saying, hey, we're going to build this and it's going to cost this much money. Well, for them to do basically a project estimate and a schedule and a proposal, they're going to have to pay their developers. Their developers probably don't want to be paid in a token. They just want USD. So if we were just to pay in token, then there'd be basically no project controls for those grant teams. And that's more on the, let's say, when we're past the short term. If we get to a point where TAN token is really taken off, then we can follow that approach where, we want to support growth in the community. We want to, let's say, have a DeFi protocol. We want to have, let's just say, an NFT marketplace, etc. But those types of teams, especially ones that are in multi crypto communities, networks, like, an NFT marketplace that maybe you could buy with Ethereum and you can buy with optimism, and then they say, hey, how about we include the TAN token? You are basically going to have to pay them in USD, and that's basically a strategic financial aspect from them in the sense that you take away bull runs and bear markets when you just set basically USD. That's the most of it. We also did things like liquidity provision, where we provided liquidity both on the going up or going down, and during spikes or high times, we would then pull some of that out. And the thing is that if we didn't provide that liquidity, then there would have been no Shimmer tokens to be available. And that's another thing that to an extent, if there's no Shimmer tokens available, then maybe the price would skyrocket. But, people coming into DeFi, when you really want to attract people into a community, they don't want a volatile asset. And they also, if they're new to the ecosystem, they need to be able to get the token. And if they go to get the token and it's, let's say 50 cents on Binance, a TAN token, but then on the DeFi platform, it's $4 because there's just no liquidity available. They look at that as a very immature ecosystem. So that is that. So yeah, any questions, concerns? Okay. So let's see. So I would say next steps would be to